Don't worry about me, I'ma be alright. Got G-O-D all over my life. Don't worry where I've been, what I did, how I came up, every single.
Hi, my name is Kesa. I'm 54 and I'm starting from scratch. Today I'm going to do another Carr therapy in session, and it ought to be quite interesting. I'll see you in a minute. Hey y'all, I'm back. I am in the car now, and I am doing what I would call a Carr therapy in session. I've been thinking, I'm always thinking, let's be honest about that. I overanalyze, but that is a product of being raised by your father. My father was in the military, and so he created a child that is very analytical. I analyze everything that I'm analyzing, and then I analyze some more. If I have any of analyzers out there, fellow analyzers out there, hey, give me a shout out and let me know, how do you shut your brain off? Because I have not figured out how to do it yet. My brain does not usually shut off until the Lord gives me the rubber mallet. That's when my brain shuts down. Otherwise, I'm always going to be thinking about something random, something that I didn't do, something that I should have did, was procrastinating on doing, and whatnot. It's the same thing every day. It's sort of like Digital Underground, all around the world, the same song. I'm just saying. Again, if you have any tips on how you can shut down the analytical brain, oh my goodness. And it is so crazy how my father raised me to critically think about everything. His whole thing would be, why did you do that? What? Why did you do that? Now go in the corner and think about why you did that, and then come to me and tell me why you did that after you have analyzed why you've done what you just did. Yeah, that was my dad. Oh my goodness gracious, dandelions. Y'all, I want to tell y'all, starting from scratch, I'm going to be honest. First of all, I always tell y'all, it's not for the weak, okay? It's just not. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, like, what is the hardest thing about starting from scratch? I think the hardest thing for me about starting from scratch is that you really don't have an idea or a clue what your next move is going to be. It's all spontaneous. It's like every day you get up, it's like you get to draw on this new canvas, and you don't really know what you're going to draw today. You just have a brand new canvas every single day. Now, ordinarily, for people that are free spirit, that is like a great idea. Now, I am a free spirit to a degree. I like freedom like the next person. You know, I like to be able to get up every morning and dictate my day. But I also like structure, and I also like order. The one thing I could tell you is that I never want to become a person that worries about what's going to happen tomorrow, because then I'm not having faith and I'm not trusting in God to provide for me as He always has. But some days, guys, it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like right now, I just don't have what I need. Or am I going to ever get to that place? These are the things that you think about when you're having to do things all over. And then you're always thinking about, well, I'll say for me, I'm not going to say for you, but I'm always thinking about, well, am I doing my mom's legacy justice? I kind of think about those things. I'm not going to say I worry about those things, but I do think about those things. I wonder if my parents are proud of me. I wonder, if I am going in the right direction. Have I made the right decision? And those are the things that you primarily think about when you're starting over. You're like, do I do something else? Did I do the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? And today, I was leaving the house and I was praying because I was seeing some things that I need to kind of do around the house or whatever. And basically, as I was praying, there was an opportunity that came up. And I already talked about that in the prior video, but I'll touch on it a little bit here again. And that was, as I was praying and going down the street and thinking like, Lord, am I going in the right direction? Am I doing the right thing? There was this opportunity that I didn't know that was coming across my path. And I don't know exactly where it's going to lead to, but guys, listen, it is a door that's open, and it is an opportunity for me to network with more people. And so I inadvertently, and I'm not going to say inadvertently because I don't like to say that, because I believe it was divine timing and opportunity that permitted me to run into the occasion. And that is, I was going down the street by my house and I saw they were setting up for some type of whatever they were doing. And I met a person there that was telling me about the Black Wall Street that they now have in San Francisco. And it's an opportunity for networking, and that's exactly what I need, because I have been praying like, Lord, I need to go outside this confined space. And so when you pray for the Lord to enlarge your borders, guys, be prepared to know that the borders are going to be, they're going to be busted wide open. Okay. And I really feel like this is going to be an opportunity. But now, what does this say to me? Now it says, Kaysa, you got to bring your A game. You got to bring your A game. And so now I'm going to be going back, doing some things I need to do, with my website and things like that. And guys, if you have any ideas or suggestions, I should say, as to how I can network differently, leave it in the chat. I don't mind, because I love chatting with people, finding out what's going on with their minds and stuff like that. But guys, I'm just chit chatting, so if it appears that I'm all over the place, I might be, but this is Carr therapy for me. I'm talking talking out my my inner thoughts, if you will. And so I'm really excited about being able to network, being able to grow my business, and being able to just put myself in a place where I'm open to receive the blessings of the Lord. And in the other video I was doing while I was walking, I was just talking about how, the blessings of the Lord, they'll chase you down. But in order for something to chase you, you got to be running, y'all. Y'all got to be doing something. And so that's pretty much all I got to say about today, y'all. If you are dealing with discouragement, and that's the other thing I want to leave you with regarding starting over. Sometimes starting over can make you feel depressed. It can make you feel overwhelmed. It is very scary, especially if you don't really have a support system. But I've stated in other videos before, sometimes you have to encourage yourself. Sometimes you have to be your own cheerleader. You have to be your own hype man, if you will. And take it one day at a time, because if you're trying to live ahead of the moment, you're going to be overwhelmed. Stay in the moment. Embrace the moment. I don't care what you're feeling. You can be sad. You can be happy. You can be gleeful. You feel like running up and down. Whatever it is. Stay in that moment. And just allow yourself to feel the moment. I hear so many people talk about anxiety, y'all. And they're like really anxious. And to be anxious means to simply, be fearful about your tomorrow. And what I'm learning is that when we are living ahead of time, y'all, we become very anxious about our tomorrow. So I want to encourage all of you to stay in the moment. Stay in the moment. Do not go past the moment you're in, because what you're going to do is you're going to create anxiety. And I know some of you are looking for jobs, and I know some of you are, entrepreneurs, and you're struggling and you're trying to get here to go there, and point B and C and D and all of these, areas. And you're like, I haven't even went past point A yet, and I'm already at B and C and D and F. I'm going to encourage you not to do that. Because it's sort of like rushing life. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie called Click. If you haven't, go see the movie called Click. It is with Adam Sandler in it. And in the movie, once you watch it, you'll understand exactly what I'm saying. Stop clicking past moments, trying to get to another moment. Stop rushing through the emotion of today or the day itself to get to tomorrow. Tomorrow has its own set of problems. Deal with the set of problems you got today, because that's the strength that you have for today. That is the income you have for today. That is the provision you have for today. And guys, I'm not just talking to you. I'm really also ministering to myself at this point. Anxiety does nothing for you. It is another form of a trauma. And if you saw the video the day before, I told you that trauma blinds you. It blinds you, y'all. Don't be blinded. Don't be blinded by depression. Don't be blinded by anxiety. If you are dealing with depression, talk to somebody. And I'm going to be really candid for a moment. I've been dealing with depression since I was 13 years old. Let me tell you how I stopped dealing with depression. But before I tell you that, I'm going to tell you that it was so bad, y'all. I couldn't sleep at night. I was flunking out of junior high until there was a turnaround. Because I was going through major things with my mom. My mom was going through things in her life. Her childhood trauma was now manifesting in my life because she never dealt with it. And I was a depressed teenager. And I would stay up all night long. I have friends that will concur what I'm telling you. I would stay up all night long playing solitaire. Just really became this person that was very introverted. And going in was a way for me to not deal with what was going on the outside. I often tell people I have this gift to zone people out. I do. I can zone you out like you're not there. But not realizing that actually is a trauma response. It was a response to the outward and the inward. There was stuff going on in my house. There was stuff going on outside. I went from the outside, well, I'll say the inside, going to the outside being bullied. Yeah, I dealt with bullies, y'all. I would have to fight. And I'm not one of those people that provoke fighting, you know. But it was always brought to me. And I had to fight. You know, and the thing was, people didn't just fight me one-on-one. They would double team me. And I was dealing with all of that. Then I would go to church, and then there was a church culture over there. And, you know, you couldn't, if you weren't a part of the elite over here and all this other crazy. So everywhere that I was at, I was dealing with some form of rejection. I was dealing with some form of abandonment. And then my father, not understanding that my father was a part of the Vietnam War, he was dealing with alcoholism, but my father was still an amazing man. He still got up and went to work and provided, but then he had his own skeletons, y'all. But he tried to, as much as possible, instill in me a sense of self-worth. Yet, I didn't have one. And then I didn't have it because my mother wasn't building that within me either. Then everybody on the outside was telling me, you're nothing in too. And so I became very, very depressed. And I told you guys, my mother had bought this diary for me. I was about 12 on the heels of 13. And I used to write in this diary. I was so depressed. I dealt with insomnia. What person or what child at 13 years old is dealing with insomnia? So I dealt with all that. Now, how did I get delivered from depression? I got delivered from depression when I got saved and born again and filled with the Holy Spirit. That didn't mean that I wasn't dealing with depression, y'all. Because I was. Because it seemed to be coming more at me at that point. But then I started listening to praise and worship music. I started going out doing exercise. And I started doing other things. Because depression makes you sit in a room by yourself in the dark. Depression makes you overeat. Depression makes you undereat. Depression makes you want to commit suicide. And by the way, I did try that when I was a young, in my latter teens. Because I thought there was no way out. So I am really having this heart-to-heart with y'all today. Because I hope that somebody will hear me and know that it's going to be okay. Even if you got to start over, it's going to be okay. Even if you got a divorce, it's going to be okay. Even if you had the real bad breakup, it's going to be okay. Even if you lost your job, it's going to be okay. Okay, so how can you say that? I'm dealing with homelessness. It's still going to be all right. Because I know that life doesn't stay the same. One piece of wisdom that my godmother gave to me, she said this. She said, and she continues to say to this day, that your life will not continue to be what it is in this moment. Your life is not over. And you will continue to move forward. She said the where you were 5 years ago is not where you are today. So, in other words, if you keep moving, the goodness of the Lord is going to come and overtake you. If you keep moving, sunshine is going to break through. If you keep moving, you're not going to feel like you did 15 minutes ago, 30 days ago, 15 years ago. So again, if you are finding yourself in a place where you just have to start over, take it all in stride. Well, this is today's confession, y'all. This is Carr therapy in session. All right. At any rate, I have said all I'm going to say today. My name is Kesa. I'm 54 and I'm starting from scratch.
Don't worry about me, I'ma be alright. Got G-O-D all over my life. Don't worry where I've been, what I did, how I came up. Everything was a sin until they changed. Don't worry about me.